16-0, taking the nation's #1 ranking into Freedom Hall for a Big East Egg with number 20 Louisville, whose last win over a #1 team was back in December of '03 when they beat Kentucky. Levance Fields, good here. The game not so much, only 8 points on 3 of 14 shooting, so despite that one, he really struggled offensively for the Panthers, who missed him. Speaking of misses, Edgar Sosa misses. Earl Clark does not. Cardinals within 2 of the break. Second half we go. Sam Young. Here you go. The steal, the windmill, and the whole thing. Woo. Yep, one more look, please. The windmill. Sam Young is environmentally friendly. He had 14 points. Back comes Louisville. Terrence Williams here. Clark there. Cards back within 1. Clark 16 points, 11 rebounds on his 21st birthday. Final 4 minutes. Sosa. Nice look, Samardo Samuels, 2 of his 10. One more look. Samuels sets the screen. 3 pit guys go to Sosa. Nobody sees or goes with Samuels, and Sosa right there. The vision cone sees him. Ball, you man, tied at 58. Williams, he finished with 20. Cardinals up 2, all while Pittsburgh shot 1 of 16 down the stretch. They couldn't throw it in the ocean when they had to. Clark again. Louisville follows the overtime win over Notre Dame Monday with an upset of #1 Pittsburgh. Jamie Dixon's Panthers unbeaten no more.
On Clemson, Wake Forest looking to start 16-0 for the first time in school history. Early in the first half, Wake up 1. Tony Woods finishing down low. Wake up by 3. Now watch this. The screen that Woods puts on DeMontez Stitt frees up Jeff Teague. No Clemson defenders down low. Teague with the easy layup. Wake Forest had a 14-point advantage inside the paint. And then James Johnson running the break, finding L.D. Williams. Clemson answering back. Casey Rivers pops out, hits the 3 at 15 points. Clemson up by 1. Wake on the fast break again. Johnson coming up with the feel good. Wake up by 3. Johnson with 19. Second half now. It's Teague. You're going to leave him wide open. He's going to knock it down. Dropping the 3 at 24 points. Then it's Al-Farouq Aminu, the freshman, the elevator going up. No one's going to stop it. Wake up by 12. Then Terrence Oglesby, who has serious range. The pump fake drops the 3 at 15 points. Clemson within 5. Here comes the Tigers. Stitt going coast to coast with the reverse lay-in. He had 13 points. Clemson down 3, but Wake simply too much. Williams, the great look to Johnson and 1. Wake Forest wins 78-68. They're the final unbeaten team in America. Deacons head coach Dino Gaudio, your thoughts? Duke has won 67 straight home games against non-conference teams. Coach K looking for win number 819 in his career. First half, Duke down 3. Gerald Henderson flying through. Georgetown now up 2. Freshman Greg Monroe, recruited hard by Coach K, called for the charge. Monroe has a seat on the bench after his second personal, so Duke would take over. Henderson in the corner with the 3. Next Duke possession, Henderson. Stop, pop, and drop. He had 17 points in the first half. Duke on a 15-2 run after Monroe picked up that second foul. They were up by 11 at the break. Second half, Georgetown trying to come back. DeJuan Summers, 21 points, 10 rebounds. They're down by 5 after the free throw. Then Greg Paulus, 3 of his 10 points off the bench, way downtown. Coach K said he brought the fight. Duke up by 12. Then Henderson, 23 points leading all scores. Duke goes on to win 76-67.
Well, Pac-10 Saturday, #7 UCLA, 10-game winning streak, and at home at Pauley hosting 15th ranked Arizona State. Various celebrities in attendance, Pat Riley and Kevin Love. Second half, James Harden double teamed by Josh Shipp and Alfred Oboya. Oboya the steal. Harden shaken up, but he was okay. UCLA is up by 9. He got back in there. Harden in transition. This after he was held only 4 points in their loss at USC Thursday. A much bigger game here Saturday. They're back within 2. 30 seconds left. Harden. Josh Shipp, that's a foul. One more look, called for the reach, Ben Howland. Harden, Pac-10's leading scorer, hit both free throws, clutch to tie it. UCLA, you got to get a better shot off than this. They go to overtime in OT. Oboya in the corner. 1 point, Bruins lead. But Harden answers. He had 24. Goes glass here. Sun Devils are up 1. But once again, UCLA will get a last look. They're down 3. Ben Howland said his team brought it up too slowly. Great job of perimeter defense there. Arizona State wins at UCLA in overtime. Their first road win over a top 10 team since '98.
Blake Griffin at number 5 Oklahoma playing in front of a hostile crowd in College Station against Texas A&M early in the second half. Griffin fouling Brian Davis inside, picking up his third foul. He would have to ride the pine. So the Sooners' other players stepping up. Austin Johnson. Jeff Capel called Johnson tremendous in this one. He sinks the three. Oklahoma up by 14. And then Johnson in transition, finding Blake's brother Taylor for the big dunk. Taylor finished with 11. Blake Griffin back in. Johnson driving. Nice dish to Blake Griffin. 16.6 rebounds in only 24 minutes for Blake. And then Josh Carter with the three. Wide open. Why not? Carter with 17 points. A&M within 4. But Griffin finding Johnson. Johnson 19 points. Sooners are 19-1, and Johnson reaches double figures the past 2 seasons. Oklahoma 69-63.
6th-ranked North Carolina finally won its first ACC game of the season Thursday over UVA in Charlottesville. And Tyler Hansbrough on the heels hosting Miami here. DeQuan Jones, the blow-by on Danny Green. Here it is one more time. Miami hanging around. They're down 4 on the road at halftime. But in the second half, the Canes decided not to guard Wayne Ellington. And this would become a recurrent theme. Ellington for 3 starts a 21-5 UNC run. Now, Ellington simply will not miss. He was scoreless in the first half, but hit 8 straight shots in the second half, including a career-high 7 threes. He had been shooting only 43% this year, down from last year, only 35% from three-point range, but he found it here. Did he ever? Ellington at will. All of his 23 after halftime. Carolina now at 500 in ACC play. They roll over Miami.
Colt talking to Carl Ravitch. A.J. Abrams struggling of coming into the game. Abrams not struggling there. Beautiful stroke. Dropping the 3. Next possession, Abrams again. You know, Colt predicted all of this, the importance of Abrams' play.
Nobody can stop A.J. on the perimeter. He can shoot that 3 like nobody else. He's got to be on fire tonight, and then everybody else will follow his lead.
Something about quarterbacks, they just know things. They can predict things. Gary Johnson, tough jumper falling down.
He forgot to have the pen that matches the color of his tie.
Can you find one in burnt orange? Johnson, 15 points, 10 rebounds.
I bet Digger has one.
And then Damian James, 14 of his 18 in the second half. Justin Mason contributing. Mason with 15 points, so everyone helping out, just like McCoy talked about. Texas rolling 71-49. They could have used some of these points in that game against
Ouch,
Texas Tech.
Ouch, yeah. Or catch the interception, either way.
Oh, yeah.
Karen Godey, number 13 in Notre Dame after the football fiasco. Second half. Arins Onuaku, the rebound, and is send it in. He had 19 on 9 of 12. They're up by 16 on the Irish. Is there a more fun player to watch in college basketball than Johnny Flynn? Love Johnny Flynn. Finds Paul Harris, 15 and 10 for Harris. It's a 15-point Orange lead. But Karen Godey answers. Luke, who's your daddy? He had 25 and 16. They're back with a 9. Then Kyle McIlarney, one of his 7 threes. He had 24. They cut it to 5. Once again, I go back to my Johnny Flynn point. The guy's just flat out fun to watch. 17 for Flynn. Maybe it's the headband. One more look. Torrey Jackson again. Ball you man loses sight of Flynn. Orange rebound from the loss at Georgetown. They get to 17-2. They beat Notre Dame again. Ouch, big.
Number 14, Marquette on the road at Providence. Second half now. Providence up 5. Jeff Xavier driving to the basket, and he loses it. Jeff McDermott would pick it up, and he's fouled on the putback. McDermott now going to the line to shoot free throws. Now, Xavier, though, down in pain. One more look. Joseph Fools keeps his arm straight up. Does not appear to intentionally hurt Xavier. Xavier hurt on the sideline. His eyes swollen shut. Now, McDermott at the line. Take a look at Xavier's brother, Jonathan. He's a spectator coming down, leaving his seat, walks down towards the court, climbs over the bench, and comes onto the court to interrupt play. What's going on? Jonathan Xavier talking to the referees. He was taken to the Providence police station, expected to be charged with disorderly conduct. Really just a strange situation. Now, brother Jeff still very emotional. He had to leave the game with his eye covered. Marquette coach Buzz Williams threatened to pull his players off the court. They did stay on the court. Good thing. Wesley Matthews driving in for 2. Marquette goes on to win 91-82. For more on Blockbuster Saturday, here's Reese Davis.
Michigan State unbeaten at the Breslin Center since February of '07. Hosting the Fighting Illini, Chris Allen. Hello. But the Spartans at home are down 1. Here's one reason why. Alex Legion, as in French foreign. He had a season high 15. They're up 6. Delvin Rowe for 2, make it 3. Spartans shot only 40%, but they're back within 1. Kalen Lucas, all of his 10 coming in the second half. Travis Walton, the steal, and Raymar Morgan down the other end. The finish on the foul. Michigan State survives 63-57. Spartans have won 11 straight overall and 28 in a row at home.
Michigan football has lost 5 straight to Ohio State. The basketball team has lost 7 of 8 in this series. But Michigan on Saturday celebrating the 1989 team. Glenn Rice, the feature. Now check out Zach Novak. This team, the Michigan team, wearing those old school unis that they wore 20 years ago. Novak creating, knocking down the rebound from a Dallas Lauderdale, Manning Harris to finish. B.J. Mullins, keep an eye on this kid from Ohio State. Last year, the #1 high school recruit. Mullins, 15 points, and he was all over the place. Ohio State wins 65-58. Arizona, USC. Wildcat fans, close your eyes. Another unexplainable ending. Second half, under 20 seconds left. USC down 2. Daniel Hackett dropping the J. We're tied at 64 now. 2 months ago, Arizona facing UAB. Game tied in the final seconds. Jamel Horn from Arizona commits an intentional foul when he didn't have to. UAB would sink a free throw to win by 1. So back to Saturday. USC, 4 seconds left. Keep an eye on Jamel Horn. Hackett is fouled intentionally by Horn. We're tied at 64. Why? Why do you do this? Hackett at the line to take the lead. The first free throw, money. USC up by 1. Hackett trying to miss the second free throw intentionally, and he does. Arizona's Hail Mary off the mark. USC in stunning fashion, 65-64.
I thought you saved the interlocking.
School record 54 points. Jody Meeks would get the rest of the week off maybe, but no, catch Georgia. Tangling Sunday in Athens. Some kid, he's got his eyeball on him already, and you figure after scoring 54, Georgia might want to guard him. There's 4 guys, and they just sort of let him go.
A little thing we like to call scouting.
There you go. Kentucky up 7-0. Their defense good there, but there would be no shutout. Off a bad pass, Perry Stevenson staying with it. And Meeks, uncontested off the miss, gets it. Look at here. Good height and 2 points. Still in the first half. Cats up 9. Meeks gets the ball in the wing. And this time they do guard him, just not well enough. He splits the defenders for the hoop. Next time down the floor, Ducky swings it around. Georgia, again, caught looking, and there's Meeks. Seriously, guard the fella, right? Meeks. Kentucky cruises 68-45. Meeks finishes with 22, so that's still nice work.
Jim Calhoun's UConn Huskies, a Big East matinee against Seton Hall in Hartford, where the story early was UConn's points in the paint. This is the bigs on the smalls and the whole thing.
Points in the paint.
Yeah, first half, Gavin Edwards is open. Jerome Dyson spots him. It's the vision and the distribution. UConn shot 51%, and close range shots like that, a big reason why. Jeff Adrian, 13 points, 12 boards. Again, points in the paint. This is his 40th career double-double. It's an 11-point Huskies lead. Then Kemba Walker. He's open on the outside. Again, spacing. Connecticut closed the half of the 14-3 run. You want points in the paint, you go to the big guy, Hasheem Thabeet. 15 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 blocks. The lead is 13. Then A.J. Price, he had 23. Top shelf to Thabeet. Huskies 16-1, 5-1 in the Big East. The Pirates are 0-5 in conference play.
Tubby Smith, as Minnesota ranked 17th. Northwestern 0-4 in conference. 1 win in their last 27 conference games. Tubby Smith, quite a player there, you remember, in college with High Point. And look at this, still got the mad hops. Man, Paul Carter looking for some help, throws it away. And look at Coach Smith. Oh, he ain't Tubby. He pretty. Very nicely done. Now, can you guard the other team? Northwestern down 1. Craig Moore for 3. Northwestern takes its first lead of the second half, 39-37. Later in the half, Northwestern's up 10. Jeremy Nash stealing. Ivan Peljicic Got it. Lays it. Peljicic, excellent. Northwestern up 12. Minnesota 19 turnovers. And Peljicic at it again. Nash deflects it free. Peljicic got it and dunking. Northwestern a big win over the Gophers, who are Golden Gophers.
A10 hosting LaSalle on Sunday. First half, how about this? The old 4-point play. Terrell Holloway for 3. Make it 4. Xavier has won 28 of its last 32 against the Explorers, and that trend continues here. C.J. Anderson finds Derek Brown inside. Brown had 15. Then B.J. Raymond for 3. He had 16. Xavier 4-0 in the A10. They have won 6 straight since the loss to Butler.
Number 4, Pittsburgh. And, oh, yeah, the Panthers, they got some help from some Steelers in attendance. There's Ben Roethlisberger, Santonio Holmes. Jeff Reed was there also, but they never show the kicker. Rick Jackson, offensive board, the jam over DeJuan Blair, and then Jackson the shove. Watch it again. Jackson clearly shoves Blair out of bounds after the play. Technical foul was called on Jackson. Closing seconds of the half, Levance Fields driving, tough lay-in. Fields had 15.6 assists. It was a 3-point game at the break. Second half, Andy Routens was hitting threes. Kid can shoot. Had 5 threes in the game. John Flynn, by the way, Flynn hit just 3 shots in the game. Sam Young, apparently out of his 3-game slump. Young had 22. And back to Blair. Here's Blair, going to draw multiple defenders. Somebody's got to be wide open, and he's wide open under the basket. That's Nasir Robinson. Wow. More Blair running the floor, and Fields finds him for the monster slam, and then Blair physical down low. Actually, Syracuse was complaining how physical Pittsburgh was all game. Blair had 20 and 12. Blair had a rough game against Louisville. He, too, rebounds.